Hello, welcome back to a new video of Let's Talk Europe, my playlist here on this channel. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. If you know me and you subscribe to this channel, thank you so much for being back, for supporting me, for keep doing and watching these videos. Last week's video we did Google autocomplete, Europe is Europe, and we came up with a lot of fun facts, mostly about continent and political stuff. Today I wanted to do Are Europeans are, but there is no real Google autocomplete about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna talk about 5 things where Europeans and Americans are slightly different. If you have subscribed, good. If you haven't, click that button, and in 15 seconds we'll be back here and we dive into this video. Let's go. All right. Number 1, Americans are more likely to believe they control their own destiny. I do agree with this statement, to be honest. I think the reason why I came to the US is pretty much the same reason. But it's not that in Europe I couldn't take my destiny in my own hand. It's more that here in the US, if I fail at something and I grow, no one cares. No one knows me here. No one will point a finger on me and be like, oh, you remember that guy? Oh, he started a business, it didn't work. He has a YouTube channel, it's not going well. Like here in the US, it doesn't matter, right? And even if you're American, you can move across the country and you're not gonna know a soul, right? So it's like a new life. It's a different part of the country. And I think that's what a lot of Europeans think. That's why we always have this image, and I think that's what we as Europeans sometimes have in mind. That's still what America represents to the people that want to live here. Of course, a lot of people in Europe don't like the American lifestyle, don't like the American way. For me, it's perfect. I love this country. I love creating here. I love being an actor. I love producing, creating stories, telling stories, and I don't know, to be honest, if I had the same amount of passion and guts and energy and willing to take risks in Europe the same way I do it here. I don't think I would, you know what I mean? Number 2, Americans tend to prioritize individual liberty, while Europeans tend to value the role of the state to ensure no one in society is in need. I do agree, pretty much. And 2 reasons though. America is very, very young. The United States as a country is very, very young. Remember that, right? Most of the European countries are double, triple, 4 times as old as the United States. So in Europe, we went through much more. We had lots and lots of revolutions. Things became what they are today throughout 2,000-3,000 years of evolution, right? Instead, here in the US, it was always a little bit different. I just recently watched a documentary when the first settlers came over with 13 original colonies. It does make sense why individualism and individual liberty is so important, because the reason why the US was founded was to get rid of the kingdom, right, of Great Britain and all of the European influence, political influence at least, and taxes that they had to pay over there. America was founded with this deep, deep belief that we're gonna take our destiny in our own hands. Remember, number 1, but that the individual rights and the individual liberty is still number 1 priority. So yeah, that's my take on that. So yes, Americans tend to prioritize individual liberty. I agree, pretty much. Number 3, there is a greater tolerance in the US than in Europe for offensive speech. No way. A solid majority, 77% of Americans believe citizens should be allowed to make statements that are offensive to people. No way, no time, no how. No way. Let me put one thing straight. I haven't traveled to every single state in the US. I've been to Florida, Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, California, Nevada, I think, so far. Okay. There is no tolerance on saying offensive things. I as a European, I say a lot of offensive things, but not because I want to offend people, because I think in Europe we have a little bit of a darker humor, right? So one of my best friends, shout out to Roshan Matthews, a great friend of mine, he is Indian. And I love making an Indian accent, right? And he doesn't care, and I do it, and it's a joke, it's like a common thing between us, right? And he doesn't get offended. But when Americans hear me do that as a white guy, they're like scared. They're like, oh my God, what are you doing? I'm like, guys, I'm not making fun of it. It's just a joke. It's a stereotype, right? It's like if people do, oh, pizza, pepperoni, pa 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 pa, like Italians, I don't care. That's not even close to what we sound. Like, I don't get it. So, but yeah, I don't think there is a bigger tolerance in the US, unless I just grew up surrounded by wild and crazy people, because we used to make a lot of jokes about a lot of different people, about ourselves. And honestly, I love comedy. I love being in comedies on stage, in movies. I love them. I watch them all the time. And I think that as long as you can make fun about yourself, you are allowed to make fun about other people too. You can make jokes about other people and things if you can make jokes about yourself. Because I think that's a very important thing right there. If you don't take yourself too serious, you're fine. Because that's a little bit what the problem in the world is right now, is that everything is very sensible. Everyone takes things very, very serious. And I think maybe we should try and take it a little bit from a less serious side, you know. Especially if people are friends with each other. I would never offend my Indian friend, you know. So yeah, I don't think there's a bigger freedom for offensive speech in the US. Not at all. Number 4, religion is significantly less important to Europeans than to Americans. I don't know. This is a very difficult one. I mean, this is based on statistics, so if they say it is, I might believe it. This is a theme where it's really hard for me to jump into. Like I said, I know Italy and Switzerland, and both countries are pretty much religious, at least the areas I grew up. At least the area in Switzerland where I grew up is very religious. It's a little bit more on the countryside, so difficult. I think it might be more important for the individual in the US, but as a society and political view, I think in Europe it's a little bit more important. I don't know, let me know what your opinion is on this. Number 5. Americans and Europeans don't always agree on questions about morality. There is no law about morality, from what I know. So for one person, something is moral correct, for the other one it isn't. Going back to the theme of being very sensible as humans and taking things too serious. I do agree that they don't always agree. I do that, yes. There is one interesting line, and while adultery is widely frowned upon in the European Union, except notably in France, what do people think about France? Like a bunch of wild animals that hump everything that walks around? I don't know. I don't think adultery should be a thing, right? That's my personal opinion. But, you know, it's a very, very broad theme, morality. It's like this endless thing. It's like philosophy. You can talk about it and there is no right or wrong. There just isn't. There are just opinions, and we have to respect all of them, because I think we should. The foundation of life should be respect for everything and everybody. With this, I'm going to end this list of 5 ways Americans and Europeans are different or differentiate themselves. We touched base on a lot of very sensible themes. I hope no one got offended by my point of view. And Rosh, forgive me for doing your Indian accent all the time. Make sure to comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your opinions are. I really love to jump into discussion on this, make a second video and talk about some specifics of this list. Again, if you haven't subscribed, this is your chance before my next video, and then I'm gonna repeat it. Make sure to hit that little button and the bell. Thank you so much for watching it once again. I appreciate you very much. I appreciate you being here with me and having subscribed to this channel. And as always, for any questions, make sure to comment or send me an email. It's in my description as well. Feel free to reach out. And until then, as always, stay safe out there, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.